Look around your living room right now. The coffee table buried under remotes, mail and random cups. The shelves crammed edge to edge. The corner that's quietly become a dumping ground for everything that doesn't have a home. Clutter doesn't arrive all at once. It builds up, a little every day, until the room that's supposed to be the calmest in the house is the most stressful. In Japan, the living room is treated as a space for calm, and they have a whole philosophy for keeping it clear, not by cleaning harder, but by changing how the room works. Here are 8 Japanese ideas to organize your living room and clear out the built-up clutter for good. Idea number 1, and it's the foundation everything else rests on: Danshari, the art of letting go. Danshari is a famous Japanese decluttering philosophy built on 3 steps: refuse, release, and separate. Refuse means stop letting new clutter in the door in the first place. Release means let go of what you already have that no longer serves your life today, not the life you had 5 years ago, not some imagined future. And separate means detach your sense of self from your stuff, so getting rid of something doesn't feel like losing a part of you. Applied to your living room, Danshari asks one ruthless question about every object. Is this necessary for my life right now? The extra throw pillows nobody uses, the decor you feel nothing about, the furniture that just fills space. If it doesn't earn its place today, it goes. This is the opposite of buying more bins to hide clutter. It's owning less so there's less to manage. Start here, because no organizing system works on a room that simply has too much in it. And unlike a frantic 5-minute tidy, Danshari is meant to be done slowly, considering each item one at a time, and honestly, which is exactly what makes the results stick instead of creeping back. And if this is already useful, hit subscribe, because the ideas get better from here. Idea number 2, embrace Ma, the power of empty space. This is maybe the most important and most un-Western idea of all. Ma is the Japanese concept of negative space, the empty, uncluttered areas of a room. And the key insight is that the emptiness is just as valuable as the objects. Most people treat empty wall space, empty shelf space, empty floor as a problem to be filled. Japanese design treats it as the whole point, because when a few carefully chosen objects have space around them, they can actually be seen and appreciated instead of competing with a dozen other things for your eye. A cluttered shelf is visual noise. The same shelf with 3 objects and breathing room around them feels intentional and calm. So as you organize, resist the urge to fill every gap. Leave the coffee table mostly bare. Leave stretches of shelf empty. That emptiness is what makes the room feel peaceful, and it's free. A simple test. Look at any surface in the room and ask whether every item on it truly needs to be there, or whether removing half of it would let the rest actually stand out. 9 times out of 10, less on the surface means more calm in the room. Idea number 3, choose low-profile furniture. Japanese living rooms sit low to the ground, low tables, low sofas, low shelving. And it's not just an aesthetic. Lower furniture keeps your sight lines open across the room, so the eye travels over everything uninterrupted, and the space feels bigger, airier, and calmer, even when it's small. Tall, bulky furniture chops a room up and boxes it in. If you're choosing pieces, go lower and more streamlined, and keep the tops of your furniture clear, because a low profile only reads as calm if you're not stacking clutter on top of it. Open floor and open sight lines are a huge part of why a Japanese room feels serene. And one detail that quietly wrecks that calm in a modern living room: cables. The tangle of wires behind the TV and around the sofa is clutter too, so tuck it away with clips, sleeves, or a box, because visible cords make even a tidy room feel messy. Idea number 4, hide your storage completely, so nothing is on display but the essentials. The Japanese approach isn't to have less storage, it's to make storage invisible. Closed cabinets instead of open shelves. Baskets and boxes with lids. Ottomans and benches that open up to swallow blankets and clutter inside. Even the floor gets used. Traditional Japanese homes raise a section of floor to tuck drawers and bins underneath. The idea is that the working storage, the stuff you need but don't need to look at, disappears behind clean, closed surfaces, leaving the room visually quiet. A tansu, a traditional Japanese wooden chest, is the classic example, beautiful on the outside, holding a world of stuff on the inside. Swap a couple of open, cluttered shelves for closed storage, and the room instantly looks calmer, even with the same amount of stuff. By the way, all of this is part of one bigger system. If you want the complete Japanese method, with every idea for a calm, clutter-free home, the book is linked in the description of this video and on the channel. It's there if you want it. On to idea 5. Idea number 5. Give everything a home and keep a landing spot for the daily chaos. The reason clutter builds up in a living room is that things arrive with nowhere to go. The remotes, the chargers, the mail, the keys. So they land on the nearest flat surface and stay. The fix is to give every category one defined home. A drawer or a lidded box for remotes and chargers, a specific tray for mail that gets cleared regularly, a spot by the door for keys. When everything has a home, tidying stops being a decision and becomes a reflex. You just put things back. And for the daily incoming chaos, one discrete basket or tray as a designated landing spot stops it spreading across every surface in the room. Here's a tip that makes assigning homes easier. Tidy by category, not by area. Instead of cleaning one corner at a time, gather all of one type of thing at once. Every book, every cable, every stray object, so you see how much you actually have, decide what stays, and give the survivors a single, logical home. It's far more effective than shuffling piles from one spot to another. Idea number 6. Divide and soften the space with light, not clutter. In traditional Japanese rooms, spaces are separated with shoji, screens of wood, lattice, and translucent paper that let light pass through, dividing a room without walling it off or filling it with bulky furniture. The principle for your living room is to define areas gently, a rug to anchor the seating area, a light screen or a low shelf to suggest a boundary rather than crowding the room with heavy dividers and stuff. Keep the light flowing and the space feeling open. An open, light-filled room simply doesn't invite clutter the way a dark, crowded one does. Idea number 7. And this is the rule that keeps hidden storage from becoming a hidden mess, the 7-5-1 rule. This comes from Japanese decluttering, and it's a simple guide for how full your storage should be. Hidden storage, your closed cabinets, drawers, and boxes, should be kept only about 70% full, so there's room to put things away easily and see what you have. Storage with glass doors, semi-visible, around 50% full. And open display shelves, the ones on show, only about 10% full, almost empty, so each displayed item has space and impact. The lesson is that cramming storage to the brim, even hidden storage, is what makes a home feel chaotic and makes things impossible to find. Leaving deliberate empty room inside your storage is what keeps it functional and calm. Before the last idea, if you're finding these useful, take a second to subscribe, because the last one is what makes all of this actually last. Idea number 8, the most important of all, the one-in, one-out rule and the daily reset. Every idea above clears your living room once, but this is what keeps it clear forever. First, one in, one out. Every time a new object enters the room, a decor piece, a gadget, a book, one old thing leaves. That single rule is what stops clutter from silently rebuilding 6 months after you've tidied. And second, the daily reset. 2 minutes at the end of each day returning things to their homes, clearing the coffee table, folding the throw, resetting the room to calm. Because everything now has a home and the room isn't overstuffed. That reset takes almost no effort. A cluttered living room isn't a cleaning problem, it's a systems problem, and these 2 habits are the system that keeps it solved. Small and consistent beats one big clear-out every single time. So there they are, 8 Japanese ideas for a clutter-free living room. Practice Danshari and let go of what you don't need. Embrace empty space as valuable. Choose low open furniture. Hide your storage behind closed surfaces. Give everything a home with a landing spot for daily chaos. Divide the room with light instead of clutter. Follow the 7-5-1 rule so your storage breathes, and lock it in with one-in, one-out and a daily reset. Put them together, and you don't just tidy the room once. You transform it into the calm, open space it was always meant to be, and keep it that way. And if you want the rest of the Japanese methods for a clutter-free home, they're all in the book in the description. And if you found these useful, wait until you see what the Japanese method does with the room where clutter hides the most, the bedroom closet. In the next video, you'll see how to organize it so getting dressed feels effortless and nothing ever piles up again. See you in the next one.